Hey you guys. So again, this is similar to slide number 2 that I did for you guys. Now, like I said, if you're not very comfortable with exponents and all that stuff, then you can replace these variables x and y with a designated number. So what I could do is I could take x, and I'm going to choose a number, and I like choosing 2 and 3 for some reason, I guess because I don't like to overthink it, and y is 3. So what I'm going to do is replace my x, so I got 64 times 2 y times 3, right? I'm replacing this with a 2, this with a 3, understanding that when I have variables next to each other, that implies multiplication. Okay, so that's why I'm putting parentheses. If I put parentheses in the calculator, it'll mark it as multiplication. So I gotta encase this giant thing, right? Okay, and then I got a half. Now this is not hard. Don't get thrown out with the half part. That's easy. Look, I'm gonna show you. So I'm gonna do exactly what I wrote. So I'm gonna do parentheses 64, parentheses 2, parentheses 3, raised to the 4. Okay, this is the part where I don't, like this little x2 part isn't going to work. So you see how I put 64 times 2 times 3. The 3 needs to have an exponent of 4. So this is where I go into my little tool section. See that next to the 9 is this little tool button that I love to press. And as you guys can see, there's a fraction, and then there's this square with a little square at the top. This allows me to put any exponent that I want. So I'm going to go there, and then I'm going to put a 4. Okay? Yay, that was easy. So now I'm going to do the same thing outside of the parentheses, because outside of the parentheses, I need to have a half. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go into this tool button right here, and then I'm going to select this exponent, because it is an exponent. See, and I can use my arrow keys to get whatever I want, and it's this one. Now I'm going to put a half. Guys, 1/2 isn't hard to put in there. Okay. Some kids like putting 1 divided by 2. I mean, that'll work. 1 divided by 2 as a half. Or, let me erase it. There's another way to do this. If you want it to be exact, maybe you're one of those kids that likes perfection, go back into your tool button next to the 9, and then you're going to select a fraction. I'm select a fraction. Let's see, my exponent became a fraction. I'll put 1/2. 1/2. Press enter, and it gives me a value of 101.823. So this is 101.823. Okay, now what I gotta do is now replace these with my designated chosen values for x and y. So I'm going to do this with a 2, this with a 3, this with a 2, this with a 3, this with a 2, this with a 3, this with a 2, this with a 3. And I want to see which ones of these, when I put them in my calculator, will give me this value. 101.823. Because the question says which expression is equivalent, that means they have to have the same value. Equivalent means same. Okay, so I'm going to try it out with letter A. 64 times 2 raised to the, okay, whoa. I got to do a fraction, but that's okay. I selected next to the 9, this is a tool button to get my little exponent. So I got right there. Here's my exponent tool, and then I'm going to put a fraction in there. So I'm going to put 3/2, because that's what letter A says, 3/2. So I do 3 divided by 2. And then I use, as you guys can see, my arrow key stays at the top, so I got to be smart. I got to move it out of there. So I moved with my arrow key. I'm going to move this cursor down like that, right down. So I'm going to do times, or parentheses, 3 raised to, another exponent, but that's okay, we can do that, that's easy. So I'm going to select my tool button, boop, right there. And then an exponent, bam. Okay, I'm going to do 9 halves. 9 halves, so 9 divided by 2, or I could put in a fraction. Either way will work. Bam. Ugh. When I put this in, it was not equivalent. This had a totally different value. 25,396.3. See, this is how I know this is not, letter A is not equivalent to the original. Okay? Here we go.